Hello everyone, myself Chandrasekhar, welcoming you all to this another episode of संडे का फंडा सीरीज। जैसा कि आप लोग जानते हैं कि इस सीरीज में हम लाइव डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन या फिर प्रैक्टिकल एप्लीकेशन के थ्रू इंजीनियरिंग कॉन्सेप्ट को समझते हैं। सो आज इसी सिलसिले में हम बात करेंगे हाउ द वाटर फ्लोज, और फॉर दैट मैटर एनी लिक्विड हाउ इट फ्लोज। तो मेरे पास एक बॉटल है विच इज हैविंग एन ओरिफिस, और इस पे मैंने कलर्ड वाटर से फिल कर देता हूं। इफ आई फिल द बॉटल विथ वाटर एंड इफ आई कीप द बॉटल ओपन, कैप ऑफ द बॉटल इज ओपन, तो क्या होगा? फ्रॉम द ओरिफिस द वाटर विल स्टार्ट कमिंग आउट। देख रहे हैं, द वाटर विल स्टार्ट कमिंग आउट। बट जैसे ही मैं इसको कैप लगा देता हूं, जैसे ही मैंने इसको कैप लगा दिया, क्या हुआ? वाटर स्टॉप्स फ्लोइंग। ठीक है, अब एक और इंटरेस्टिंग एक्सपेरिमेंट करते हैं कि जो नॉर्मल कैप है दैट इज रिप्लेस्ड बाय अनदर स्पेशल कैप जिसपे मैंने एक ट्यूब लगा रखा है। सो इफ आई रिप्लेस दिस नॉर्मल कैप विद अनदर कैप, स्पेशल कैप हैविंग ए ट्यूब, तो फिर क्या होता है? हाउ द फ्लो हैपन्स और हाउ द फ्लो स्टॉप्स। अगर मैं इसको रिप्लेस कर दूं, आपको दिखाई दे रहा है कि अगर इस ट्यूब का जो एंड है, अगर ट्यूब का एंड इस ओरिफिस के लेवल पे है तो पानी नहीं फ्लो करेगा, और अगर मैं इस ट्यूब को ऊपर, थोड़ा सा ऊपर खींच लूं, एंड ऑफ द ट्यूब इज अबोव द लेवल ऑफ द ओरिफिस, देन वाटर विल स्टार्ट फ्लोइंग। अगर इसको मैं नीचे ले जाऊं, इफ द लेवल ऑफ द ट्यूब इज एट द सेम लेवल और द एंड ऑफ द ट्यूब इज बिलो द लेवल ऑफ द ओरिफिस, देन वाटर विल नॉट फ्लो। डू यू अंडरस्टैंड? देख रहे हैं आप, जैसे ही मैंने ट्यूब को ऊपर खींचा वाटर स्टार्ट फ्लोइंग, और जैसे ही मैंने ट्यूब को नीचे पुश किया वाटर स्टॉप्स फ्लोइंग। व्हाट इज द engineering concept behind this? Let us try to understand the theoretical explanation for this phenomena. Hello everyone, myself Chandrasekhar, welcoming you all once again to the second part of this Sunday Ka Funda series. In the first part, we have seen the practical demonstration of flow of water through the orifice. Now, in this part, we will be discussing about the theoretical concept behind this phenomena. What is the driving force which makes the flow of water? So let us try to understand this. If we take, there is a container filled with water. If we take point 1 here, outside the orifice or outside the tube, point 1, the pressure at 1 is p atm because it is in contact with the atmosphere. The velocity is not known, but the potential energy head, if we take this as the reference line, then we can say Z1 is equal to 0. V1 we do not know, that is V. If we take another point 2 at the free surface, so point 2 will have pressure P2 is equal to again P atm because the container is open to the atmosphere. V2 will be equal to 0. Why? Because the area of the container is very large compared to area of the orifice. That is why the velocity of flow will be negligible, and Z2 will be equal to H. So if we compare the energy at 1 and 2, so we can comfortably say the potential energy at point 2 is converting into kinetic energy at point 1. Right? That is why the fluid is flowing out of the orifice. It is because of the difference in the potential energy between 2 and 1. Similarly, if we take another point 3 at the same level of the orifice but in the container, pressure at P3 will be equal to rho into G into H, or P atm plus rho into G into H. Isn't it? P3 will be equal to PATM plus rho GH according to hydrostatic law. Z3 will be equal to 0 and V3 will also be equal to 0 as long as the point is taken inside the tank. So here pressure at point 3 is greater than pressure at point 1. So the fluid flow, the flow is taking place from point 3 to 1 due to the pressure difference. So it is the pressure difference between 3 and 1 which makes the fluid to flow out of the orifice. Alright. So if we equate the energy at 1, 2 and 3, the total hydraulic energy at 1 will be equal to total hydraulic energy at 2 is equal to total hydraulic energy at 3 because of the Bernoulli principle. So the velocity of flow we will obtain as, the velocity of the flow we will be getting as under root of 2gh, right? The velocity is given. This is called as Torseley law. Either equate energy at 1 with the energy at 2 and equal to energy at 3, then we will get the velocity of flow through the orifice as under root of 2gh. Now, if the cap is open, if there is no cap, in the bottle there is a water and the cap is open. So we can say here at point 1, the pressure is PATM and at point 2, pressure is PATM plus rho GH inside the tank, and outside the pressure is PATM. So due to difference in the pressure, fluid will come out, isn't it? So the velocity of the flow will be under root 2gh. But if we put the cap on the bottle, if we put a cap on the bottle, then what will happen? Here there will be vacuum. There will be vacuum created here because the cap is closed. If the cap is closed, there is a vacuum. So here the pressure is less than PATM. The pressure at 1 is less than PATM. The pressure will be less than PATM and outside pressure is PATM. Now the pressure inside the tank or inside the bottle will be less than PATM. That is why the fluid or the liquid or the water will not come out of the orifice. Are you getting it? That is what we have seen in the practical demonstration as well. Now if we put the special type of a cap and having a tube inserted in it, there is a tube, open-ended tube, there is a tube, and if the end of the tube is at the level of the orifice, if the end of the tube, one end of the tube is open to atmosphere, here the pressure is PATM, another end of the tube is at the level of the orifice or below the level of the orifice, then we can say here point 2, pressure is equal to PATM and outside pressure is also PATM. Because the pressures are same, that will not allow the liquid to come out of the bottle. That is why the liquid will not come out of the bottle. I hope you understood this. Because the pressure here will be PATM, it is open-ended tube. So the pressure at this level will be PATM. If we increase the, or if we push the tube more towards bottom, so the end of the tube is below the orifice, then also pressure P2 becomes less than PATM. Pressure P2 will become less than PATM because here the pressure will be PATM. According to hydrostatic law, if we rise upward, then the pressure decreases. So whenever the pressure P2 is equal to or less than PATM, then there will be no flow. The fluid will not flow. But if the end of the tube is lying above the level of the orifice, then what will happen? Here the pressure is PATM and at point 2 inside the tank pressure is, let me call it as small h, let us say. So can we say the pressure at 2 is equal to PATM plus rho GH, but outside pressure is equal to PATM. So here P2 is greater than PATM. That is why the liquid will flow. liquid flows due to the difference in the pressure. So that is how the liquid will be flowing from the bottle through the orifice because of the difference in the pressure. More is the pressure in the bottle, more will be the rate of flow through the orifice. We can find out the velocity also. Here velocity will be equal to, can you find out the velocity? Here the pressure is P atm, here here also if we take 0.1 here, then the velocity is equal to under root 2gh. The velocity of flow will be root 2gh. I hope it is clear. Similarly, if we take an example, for an example, this is a inverted bottle, this is a tube, open-ended tube is attached to the container, there is a cork or cap, and there is another tube through which liquid flows. So at point A, if I ask you what is the pressure at point B, the pressure at point B will be equal to P atm, isn't it? Point B will have pressure P atm because the other end of the tube is, here air is entering and the other end of the tube is having the pressure P atm. Now if I ask you what is the pressure at A, if this distance is h2, pressure at A is equal to P atm minus rho g h2. Here it is vacuum. The pressure at A is P atm minus rho g h2, and at point A velocity will be 0, and if we take reference line as this, then ZA is equal to h1. If we take point 2 here, so we can say P2 is equal to P atm, Z2 is equal to 0, and we can find out the value of V2. How to calculate the value of V2? So we can say the total energy at A is equal to total energy at 2. So what is the total energy at A? P atm minus rho g h2 by rho g, pressure energy, plus h1 is equal to P atm by rho g plus V2 square by 2g. This P atm by rho g will get cancelled out with this P atm by rho g. So it will be h1 minus h2. So the velocity of the flow will be equal to V2 is equal to under root of 2g h1 minus h2. This is how we can find out the velocity of the flow through the orifice. I hope you understood this. That is all from my side. So thank you very much for having this video. Stay tuned for more such sessions. Till then, enjoy, take care, have a good day and a great career ahead. Jai Hind.